Chapters 16 through 20 of the first book of Samuel, from the Young's literal translation of the Bible, translated by Robert Young. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Recording by Mark Penfold. Chapter 16. And Jehovah saith unto Samuel, Till when art thou mourning for Saul, and I have rejected him from reigning over Israel? Fill thy horn with oil, and go. I send thee unto Jesse the Bethlehemite, for I have seen among his sons for myself a king. And Samuel saith, How do I go? When Saul hath heard, then he hath slain me. And Jehovah saith, A heifer of the herd thou dost take in thy hand, and hast said, To sacrifice to Jehovah I have come. And thou hast called for Jesse in the sacrifice, and I cause thee to know that which thou dost do, and thou hast anointed to me him of whom I speak unto thee. And Samuel doth that which Jehovah hath spoken, and cometh into Bethlehem. And the elders of the city tremble to meet him, and one saith, Is thy coming peace? And he saith, Peace. To sacrifice to Jehovah I have come. Sanctify yourselves, and ye have come in with me to the sacrifice. And he sanctifieth Jesse and his sons, and calleth them to the sacrifice. And it cometh to pass, in their coming in, that he seeth Eliab, and saith, Surely before Jehovah is his anointed. And Jehovah saith unto Samuel, Look not unto his appearance, and unto the height of his stature, for I have rejected him. For it is not as man seeth. For man looketh at the eyes, and Jehovah looketh at the heart. And Jesse calleth unto Abinadab, and causeth him to pass by before Samuel. And he saith, Also on this Jehovah hath not fixed. And Jesse causeth Shammah to pass by, and he saith, Also on this Jehovah hath not fixed. And Jesse causeth 7 of his sons to pass by before Samuel. And Samuel saith to Jesse, Jehovah hath not fixed on these. And Samuel saith unto Jesse, Are the young men finished? And he saith, Yet hath been left the youngest, and lo, he delighteth himself among the flock. And Samuel saith unto Jesse, Send and take him, for we do not turn round till his coming in hither. And he sendeth, and bringeth him in, and he is ruddy, with beauty of eyes, and of good appearance. And Jehovah saith, Rise, anoint him, for this is he. And Samuel taketh the horn of oil, and anointeth him in the midst of his brethren. And prosper over David doth the Spirit of Jehovah from that day and onwards. And Samuel riseth, and goeth to Ramoth. And the Spirit of Jehovah turned aside from Saul, and a spirit of sadness from Jehovah terrified him. And the servants of Saul say unto him, Lo, we pray thee, a spirit of sadness from God is terrifying thee. Let our Lord command, we pray thee, thy servants before thee. They seek a skillful man playing on a harp. And it hath come to pass, in the spirit of sadness from God being upon thee, that he hath played with his hand, and it is well with thee. And Saul saith unto his servants, Provide, I pray you, for me a man playing well. Then ye have brought him in unto me. And one of the servants answereth and saith, Lo, I have seen a son of Jesse the Bethlehemite, skillful in playing, and a mighty virtuous man, and a man of battle, and intelligent in word, and a man of form, and Jehovah is with him. And Saul sendeth messengers unto Jesse, and saith, Send unto me David thy son, who is with the flock. And Jesse taketh an ass with bread, and a bottle of wine, and 1 kid of the goats, and sendeth by the hand of David his son unto Saul. And David cometh in unto Saul, and standeth before him. And he loveth him greatly, and he is a bearer of his weapons. And Saul sendeth unto Jesse, saying, Let David, I pray thee, stand before me, for he hath found grace in mine eyes. And it hath come to pass, in the spirit of sadness from God being on Saul, that David hath taken the harp, and played with his hand, and Saul hath refreshment and gladness, and the spirit of sadness hath turned aside from off him. Chapter 17. And the Philistines gather their camps to battle, and are gathered to Shoco, which is to Judah, and encamp between Shoco and Azekah in Ephes Dammim. And Saul and the men of Israel have been gathered, and encamp by the valley of Elah, and set the battle in array to meet the Philistines. And the Philistines are standing on the mountain on this side, and the Israelites are standing on the mountain on that side, and the valley is between them. And there goeth out a man of the duelists from the camps of the Philistines. Goliath is his name, from Gath. His height is 6 cubits and a span, and a helmet of brass is on his head, and with a scaled coat of mail he is clothed, and the weight of the coat of mail is 5,000 shekels of brass, and a frontlet of brass is on his feet, and a javelin of brass between his shoulders. And the wood of his spear is like a beam of weavers, and the flame of his spear is 600 shekels of iron, and the bearer of the buckler is going before him. And he standeth and calleth unto the ranks of Israel, and saith to them,
Why are ye come out to set in array the battle? Am not I the Philistine, and ye servants to Saul? Choose for you a man, and let him come down unto me. If he be able to fight with me, and have smitten me, then we have been to you for servants. And if I am able for him, and have smitten him, then ye have been to us for servants, and have served us.
And the Philistine saith,
I have reproached the ranks of Israel this day. Give to me a man, and we fight together.
And Saul heareth, and all Israel, these words of the Philistine, and they are broken down and greatly afraid. And David is son of this Ephrathite of Bethlehem Judah, whose name is Jesse. And he hath 8 sons, and the man in the days of Saul hath become aged among men. And the 3 eldest sons of Jesse go, they have gone after Saul to battle. And the name of his 3 sons who have gone into battle are Eliab the firstborn, and his second Abinadab, and the third Shammah. And David is the youngest, and the 3 eldest have gone after Saul. And David is going and returning from Saul to feed the flock of his father at Bethlehem. And the Philistine draweth nigh morning and evening, and stationeth himself 40 days. And Jesse saith to David his son, Take, I pray thee, to thy brethren, an ephah of this roasted corn, and these 10 loaves, and run to the camp to thy brethren. And these 10 cuttings of the cheese thou dost take in to the head of the 1,000, and thy brethren thou dost inspect for welfare, and their pledge dost receive. And Saul and they, and all the men of Israel, are in the valley of Elah, fighting with the Philistines. And David riseth early in the morning, and leaveth the flock to a keeper, and lifteth up, and goeth, as Jesse commanded him. And he cometh into the path, and to the force which is going out unto the rank, and they have shouted for battle. And Israel and the Philistines set in array rank to meet rank. And David letteth down the goods from off him on the hand of a keeper of the goods, and runneth into the rank, and cometh and asketh of his brethren of welfare. And he is speaking with them, and lo, a man of the duelists is coming up. Goliath the Philistine is his name, of Gath, out of the ranks of the Philistines. And he speaketh according to those words, and David heareth. And all the men of Israel, when they see the man flee from his presence, and are greatly afraid. And the men of Israel say, Have ye seen this man who is coming up? For to reproach Israel he is coming up, and it hath been the man who smiteth him. The king doth enrich him with great riches, and his daughter he doth give to him, and his father's house doth make free in Israel. And David speaketh unto the men who are standing by him, saying, What is done to the man who smiteth this Philistine, and hath turned aside reproach from Israel? For who is this uncircumcised Philistine, that he hath reproached the ranks of the living God? And the people speak to him according to this word, saying,
Thus it is done to the man who smiteth him.
And Eliab his eldest brother heareth when he speaketh unto the men. And the anger of Eliab burneth against David, and he saith, Why is this? Thou hast come down. And to whom hast thou left those few sheep in the wilderness? I have known thy pride and the evil of thy heart, for to see the battle thou hast come down. And David saith, What have I done now? Is it not a word? And he turneth round from him unto another, and saith according to this word, and the people return him word as the first word. And the words which David hath spoken are heard, and they declare before Saul, and he receiveth him. And David saith unto Saul, Let no man's heart fall because of him. Thy servant doth go, and hath fought with this Philistine. And Saul saith unto David,
Thou art not able to go unto this Philistine, to fight with him. For a youth thou art, and he a man of war from his youth.
And David saith unto Saul, A shepherd hath thy servant been to his father among the sheep, and the lion hath come, and the bear, and hath taken away a sheep out of the drove, and I have gone out after him, and smitten him, and delivered out of his mouth, and he riseth against me, and I have taken hold on his beard, and smitten him, and put him to death. Both the lion and the bear hath thy servant smitten, and this uncircumcised Philistine hath been as one of them, for he hath reproached the ranks of the living God. And David saith, Jehovah, who delivered me out of the paw of the lion and out of the paw of the bear, he doth deliver me from the hand of this Philistine. And Saul saith unto David,
Go, and Jehovah is with thee.
And Saul clotheth David with his long robe, and hath put a helmet of brass on his head, and doth clothe him with a coat of mail. And David girded his sword above his long robe, and beginneth to go, for he hath not tried it. And David saith unto Saul, I am not able to go with these, for I had not tried. And David turneth them aside from off him. And he taketh his staff in his hand, and chooseth for him 5 smooth stones from the brook, and putteth them in the shepherd's habiliments that he hath, even in the scrip. And his sling is in his hand, and he draweth nigh unto the Philistine. And the Philistine goeth on, going and drawing near unto David, and the man bearing the buckler is before him. And the Philistine looketh attentively, and seeth David, and despiseth him, for he was a youth, and ruddy, with a fair appearance. And the Philistine saith unto David,
Am I not a dog, that thou art coming unto me with staves?
And the Philistine revileth David by his gods. And the Philistine saith unto David,
Come unto me, and I give thy flesh to the fowl of the heavens, and to the beast of the field.
And David saith unto the Philistine, Thou art coming unto me with sword, and with spear, and with buckler, and I am coming unto thee in the name of Jehovah of hosts, God of the ranks of Israel, which thou hast reproached. This day doth Jehovah shut thee up into my hand, and I have smitten thee, and turned aside thy head from off thee, and given the carcass of the camp of the Philistines this day to the fowl of the heavens, and to the beast of the earth. And all the earth do know that God is for Israel. And all this assembly do know that not by sword and by spear doth Jehovah save, that the battle is Jehovah's, and he hath given you into our hand. And it hath come to pass, that the Philistine hath risen, and goeth, and draweth near to meet David. And David hasteth and runneth to the rank to meet the Philistine. And David putteth forth his hand unto the vessel, and taketh thence a stone, and slingeth, and smiteth the Philistine on his forehead. And the stone sinketh into his forehead, and he falleth on his face to the earth. And David is stronger than the Philistine with a sling and with a stone, and smiteth the Philistine, and putteth him to death. And there is no sword in the hand of David. And David runneth and standeth over the Philistine, and taketh his sword, and draweth it out of its sheath, and putteth him to death, and cutteth off with it his head. And the Philistines see that their hero is dead, and flee. And the men of Israel rise, also Judah, and shout, and pursue the Philistines till thou enter the valley, and unto the gates of Ekron, and the wounded of the Philistines fall in the way of Sha'araim, even unto Gath and unto Ekron. And the sons of Israel turn back from burning after the Philistines, and spoil their camps. And David taketh the head of the Philistine, and bringeth it in to Jerusalem, and his weapons he hath put in his own tent. And when Saul seeth David going out to meet the Philistine, he hath said unto Abner, head of the host,
Whose son is this, the youth, Abner?
And Abner saith, Thy soul liveth, O king, I have not known. And the king saith,
Ask thou whose son this is, the young man.
And when David turneth back from smiting the Philistine, then Abner taketh him, and bringeth him in before Saul, and the head of the Philistine in his hand. And Saul saith unto him, Whose son art thou, O youth? And David saith, Son of thy servant Jesse, the Bethlehemite. Chapter 18. And it cometh to pass, when he finisheth to speak unto Saul, that the soul of Jonathan hath been bound to the soul of David, and Jonathan loveth him as his own soul. And Saul taketh him on that day, and hath not permitted him to turn back to the house of his father. And Jonathan maketh, also David, a covenant, because he loveth him as his own soul. And Jonathan strippeth himself of the upper robe which is upon him, and giveth it to David, and his long robe, even unto his sword, and unto his bow, and unto his girdle. And David goeth out whithersoever Saul doth send him. He acted wisely, and Saul setteth him over the men of war. And it is good in the eyes of all the people, and also in the eyes of the servants of Saul. And it cometh to pass in their coming in David's returning from smiting the Philistine, that the women come out from all the cities of Israel to sing, also the dancers, to meet Saul the king, with tabrets, with joy, and with 3-stringed instruments. And the women answer, those playing, and say, Saul hath smitten among his thousands, and David among his myriads. And it is displeasing to Saul exceedingly, and this thing is evil in his eyes. And he saith,
They have given to David myriads, and to me they have given the thousands, and more to him is only the kingdom.
And Saul is eyeing David from that day and thenceforth. And it cometh to pass on the morrow, that the spirit of sadness from God prospereth over Saul, and he prophesieth in the midst of the house. And David is playing with his hand, as day by day, and the javelin is in the hand of Saul. And Saul casteth the javelin, and saith,
I smite through David, even through the wall.
And David turneth round out of his presence twice. And Saul is afraid of the presence of David, for Jehovah hath been with him, and from Saul he hath turned aside. And Saul turneth him aside from him, and appointeth him to himself head of 1,000, and he goeth out and cometh in before the people. And David is in all his ways acting wisely, and Jehovah is with him. And Saul seeth that he is acting very wisely, and is afraid of him. And all Israel and Judah love David when he is going out and coming in before them. And Saul saith unto David,
Lo, my elder daughter Merab, her I give to thee for a wife, only be to me for a son of valor, and fight the battles of Jehovah.
And Saul said,
Let not my hand be on him, but let the hand of the Philistines be upon him.
And David saith unto Saul, Who am I, and what my life, the family of my father in Israel, that I am son-in-law to the king? And it cometh to pass, at the time of the giving of Merab, daughter of Saul, to David, that she hath been given to Adriel the Maholathite for a wife. And Michal, daughter of Saul, loveth David, and they declare to Saul, and the thing is right in his eyes. And Saul saith,
I give her to him, and she is to him for a snare, and the hand of the Philistines is on him.
And Saul saith unto David,
By the second, thou dost become my son-in-law today.
And Saul commandeth his servants,
Speak unto David gently, saying, Lo, the king hath delighted in thee, and all his servants have loved thee, and now be son-in-law to the king.
And the servants of Saul speak in the ears of David these words, and David saith, Is it a light thing in your eyes to be son-in-law to the king, and I a poor man and lightly esteemed? And the servants of Saul declare to him, saying,
According to these words hath David spoken.
And Saul saith,
Thus do ye say to David, There is no delight to the king in dowry, but in 100 foreskins of the Philistines, to be avenged on the enemies of the king.
And Saul thought to cause David to fall by the hand of the Philistines. And his servants declare to David these words, and the thing is right in the eyes of David to be son-in-law to the king, and the days have not been full. And David riseth and goeth, he and his men, and smiteth among the Philistines 200 men, and David bringeth in their foreskins, and they set them before the king, to be son-in-law to the king. And Saul giveth to him Michal his daughter for a wife. And Saul seeth and knoweth that Jehovah is with David, and Michal daughter of Saul hath loved him. And Saul addeth to be afraid of the presence of David yet, and Saul is an enemy with David all the days. And the princes of the Philistines come out, and it cometh to pass from the time of their coming out, David hath acted more wisely than any of the servants of Saul, and his name is very precious. Chapter 19. And Saul speaketh unto Jonathan his son, and to all his servants, to put David to death. And Jonathan son of Saul delighted exceedingly in David. And Jonathan declareth to David, saying, Saul my father is seeking to put thee to death. And now take heed, I pray thee, in the morning, and thou hast abode in a secret place, and been hidden. And I go out, and have stood by the side of my father in the field where thou art. And I speak of thee unto my father, and have seen what is coming, and have declared to thee. And Jonathan speaketh good of David unto Saul his father, and saith unto him, Let not the king sin against his servant, against David, because he hath not sinned against thee, and because his works for thee are very good. Yea, he putteth his life in his hand, and smiteth the Philistine, and Jehovah worketh a great salvation for all Israel. Thou hast seen, and dost rejoice. And why dost thou sin against innocent blood, to put David to death for naught? And Saul hearkeneth to the voice of Jonathan. And Saul sweareth, Jehovah liveth, he doth not die. And Jonathan calleth for David, and Jonathan declareth to him all these words. And Jonathan bringeth in David unto Saul, and he is before him as heretofore. And there addeth to be war, and David goeth out and fighteth against the Philistines, and smiteth among them, a great smiting, and they flee from his face. And a spirit of sadness from Jehovah is unto Saul, and he is sitting in his house, and his javelin in his hand, and David is playing with the hand. And Saul seeketh to smite with the javelin through David, and through the wall, and he freeth himself from the presence of Saul, and he smiteth the javelin through the wall, and David hath fled and escapeth during that night. And Saul sendeth messengers unto the house of David to watch him, and to put him to death in the morning. And Michal his wife declareth to David, saying, If thou art not delivering thy life tonight, tomorrow thou art put to death. And Michal causeth David to go down through the window, and he goeth on, and fleeth, and escapeth. And Michal taketh the teraphim, and layeth on the bed, and the mattress of goat's hair she hath put for his pillows, and covereth with a garment. And Saul sendeth messengers to take David, and she saith, He is sick. And Saul sendeth the messengers to see David, saying,
Bring him up in the bed unto me,
to put him to death. And the messengers come in, and lo, the teraphim are on the bed, and the mattress of goat's hair for his pillows. And Saul saith unto Michal,
Why thus hast thou deceived me, that thou dost send away mine enemy, and he is escaped?
And Michal saith unto Saul, He said unto me, Send me away, why do I put thee to death? And David hath fled, and is escaped, and cometh in unto Samuel to Ramoth, and declareth to him all that Saul hath done to him. And he goeth, he and Samuel, and they dwell in Naioth. And it is declared to Saul, saying, Lo, David is in Naioth in Ramah. And Saul sendeth messengers to take David, and they see the assembly of the prophets prophesying, and Samuel standing, set over them. And the Spirit of God is on Saul's messengers, and they prophesy, they also. And they declare it to Saul, and he sendeth other messengers, and they prophesy, they also. And Saul addeth and sendeth messengers a third time, and they prophesy, they also. And he goeth, he also, to Ramoth, and cometh in unto the great well which is in Sechu, and asketh, and saith,
Where are Samuel and David?
And one saith,
Lo, in Naioth in Ramah.
And he goeth thither, unto Naioth in Ramah, and the Spirit of God is upon him, him also. And he goeth, going on, and he prophesieth till his coming in to Naioth in Ramah. And he strippeth off, he also, his garments, and prophesieth, he also, before Samuel, and falleth down naked all that day and all the night. Therefore they say, Is Saul also among the prophets? Chapter 20. And David fleeth from Naioth in Ramah, and cometh, and saith before Jonathan, What have I done? What is mine iniquity? And what my sin before thy father, that he is seeking my life? And he saith to him, Far be it, thou dost not die. Lo, my father doth not do anything great or small, and doth not uncover mine ear. And wherefore doth my father hide from me this thing? This thing is not. And David sweareth again, and saith, Thy father hath certainly known that I have found grace in thine eyes. And he saith, Let not Jonathan know this, lest he be grieved. And yet Jehovah liveth, and thy soul liveth, but as a step between me and death. And Jonathan saith to David, What doth thy soul say? And I do it for thee. And David saith unto Jonathan, Lo, the new moon is tomorrow, and I do certainly sit with the king to eat, and thou hast sent me away, and I have been hidden in a field till the third evening. If thy father at all look after me, and thou hast said, David asked earnestly of me to run to Bethlehem his city, for a sacrifice of the days is there for all the family. If thus he say, Good, peace is for thy servant. And if it be very displeasing to him, know that the evil hath been determined by him, and thou hast done kindness to thy servant, for into a covenant of Jehovah thou hast brought thy servant with thee. And if there is in me iniquity, put thou me to death. And unto thy father, Why is this? Thou dost bring me in. And Jonathan saith, Far be it from thee, for I certainly do not know that the evil hath been determined by my father to come upon thee, and I do not declare it to thee. And David saith unto Jonathan, Who doth declare to me? Or what if thy father doth answer thee sharply? And Jonathan saith unto David, Come, and we go out into the field. And they go out both of them into the field. And Jonathan saith unto David, Jehovah, God of Israel, when I search my father about this time tomorrow or the third day, and lo, good is towards David, and I do not then send unto thee, and have uncovered thine ear. Thus doth Jehovah do to Jonathan, and thus doth he add, when the evil concerning thee is good to my father. Then I have uncovered thine ear, and sent thee away, and thou hast gone in peace, and Jehovah is with thee, as he was with my father. And not only while I am alive dost thou do with me the kindness of Jehovah, and I die not. But thou dost not cut off thy kindness from my house unto the age, nor in Jehovah's cutting off the enemies of David, each one from off the face of the ground. And Jonathan covenanteth with the house of David, and Jehovah hath sought it from the hand of the enemies of David. And Jonathan addeth to cause David to swear, because he loveth him, for with the love of his own soul he hath loved him. And Jonathan saith to him, Tomorrow is new moon, and thou hast been looked after, for thy seat is looked after. And on the third day thou dost certainly come down, and hast come in unto the place where thou wast hidden in the day of the work, and hast remained near the stone Ezel. And I shoot 3 of the arrows at the side, sending out from myself at a mark. And lo, I send the youth. Go, find the arrows. If I at all say to the youth, Lo, the arrows are on this side of thee, take them, then come thou, for peace is with thee, and there is nothing. Jehovah liveth. And if thus I say to the young man, Lo, the arrows are beyond thee, go, for Jehovah hath sent thee away. As to the thing which we have spoken, I and thou, lo, Jehovah is between me and thee, unto the age. And David is hidden in the field, and it is the new moon, and the king sitteth down by the food to eat. And the king sitteth on his seat, as time by time, on a seat by the wall, and Jonathan riseth, and Abner sitteth at the side of Saul, and David's place is looked after. And Saul hath not spoken anything on that day, for he said, It is an accident. He is not clean, surely not clean. And it cometh to pass on the second morrow of the new moon, that David's place is looked after. And Saul saith unto Jonathan his son, Wherefore hath the son of Jesse not come in, either yesterday or today, unto the food? And Jonathan answereth Saul, David hath been earnestly asked of me unto Bethlehem, and he saith, Send me away, I pray thee, for a family sacrifice we have in the city, and my brother himself hath given command to me. And now, if I have found grace in thine eyes, let me go away, I pray thee, and see my brethren. Therefore he hath not come unto the table of the king. And the anger of Saul burneth against Jonathan, and he saith to him, Son of a perverse rebellious woman, have I not known that thou art fixing on the son of Jesse to thy shame, and to the shame of the nakedness of thy mother? For all the days that the son of Jesse liveth on the ground, thou art not established, thou and thy kingdom. And now, send and bring him unto me, for he is a son of death. And Jonathan answereth Saul his father, and saith unto him, Why is he put to death? What hath he done? And Saul casteth the javelin at him to smite him, and Jonathan knoweth that it hath been determined by his father to put David to death. And Jonathan riseth from the table in the heat of anger, and hath not eaten food on the second day of the new moon, for he hath been grieved for David, for his father put him to shame. And it cometh to pass in the morning, that Jonathan goeth out into the field for the appointment with David, and a little youth is with him. And he saith to his youth, Run, find, I pray thee, the arrows which I am shooting. The youth is running, and he hath shot the arrow, causing it to pass over him. And the youth cometh unto the place of the arrow which Jonathan hath shot. And Jonathan calleth after the youth, and saith, Is not the arrow beyond thee? And Jonathan calleth after the youth, Speed, haste, stand not. And Jonathan's youth gathereth the arrows, and cometh unto his lord. And the youth hath not known anything, only Jonathan and David knew the word. And Jonathan giveth his weapons unto the youth whom he hath, and saith to him, Go, carry into the city. The youth hath gone, and David hath risen from Ezel at the south, and falleth on his face to the earth, and boweth himself 3 times. And they kiss one another, and they weep one with another, till David exerted himself. And Jonathan saith to David, Go in peace, in that we have sworn, we two, in the name of Jehovah, saying, Jehovah is between me and thee, and between my seed and thy seed, unto the age. And he riseth and goeth, and Jonathan hath gone into the city. The end of chapters 16 through 20. Recording by Mark Penfold.